Okay, this is Mr. Dimich again. I'm going to explain how to add Google Calendar. Every day, I have an agenda. We'll end up looking something like the open house agenda where I do dates, what we're going to do that day, so it's clear. If you're absent, this is the first place you can go. It's a one-time deal, but sometimes it's easier if I explain it on a video, and you can do it. And I will, check on this in class too. But if you could do it beforehand, that would be great. Um, so let's explain how to do that. I on Classroom there's a slide that explains all this step by step. I'm not going to show this slide right now. I'm actually going to demonstrate it. So there is a couple different things that we can do. You're going to need there's a step by step process, but it's a one-time deal. All you have to do is one time. So you see, there's everybody's classroom page that I showed the codes in the previous video. There's a link here. There's a previous video with the codes for classroom and the slides that I sent out, and there's a link here. This link you're going to need to not click on it. You're not going to click on it. You're going to right click. If you got your Chromebook, which most of you picked them up already, you're going to take you remember a little refresher, you take the two fingers, and that's right clicking right on the touchpad. So I have a mouse, so I'm just going to copy link address. So now it's gobbledygook link. Okay, and you're going to see why in a minute. There's a way to integrate the calendar onto your Google Calendar. Now, to open up Google Calendar, you can do it one of two ways. You can go up here into Classroom. There's Google Calendar here, or on what I call, some people call this the grid. I call it the 9-square menu in Google, which all of you have once you sign in. There is Calendar. It's usually somewhere prominent, and there it is right there, Calendar. In order to show this effectively, I'm going to come over to my Gmail account, because everything on my teacher account is already there. So I'm going to show you on here, on my personal one. I think it'll be easier. So if I go to calendar, which I'm already in, and that's where you can see, and I go to the settings menu up here, the gear shift, and I go over to settings once I've entered the calendar, and I go, and down here there's a whole bunch of different options. One of them is add calendar, and this is what you're going to need to do. Is you're going to need to excuse me, trying to get what I was hoping to be able to do is get the highlighter here, but add calendar, and you're going to go to add from URL. Add calendar. There's a little drop down menu here, and you're gonna go there and go add from URL. And up here is where you're going to paste the URL. So you either right click and copy it, Control C, and of course to paste it, Control V, or right click and paste. Control V. Control V is in Vegas, and you can see it's a gobbledygook link. Don't click on that link in Classroom. Don't click on that link in Classroom. Sorry, I had to pull that off a minute. Don't click on that link. Either when you right click it, you can hit Control C or copy link address. But don't click it, because it'll just give you it'll just try to start downloading it, and you don't want to do that. So once you click on that, you don't need to make it publicly accessible. You can add calendar, and the calendar's been added. So now go over to September, and you see, ta-da, you see 9/3, 9/4, 9/5, 9/6 tentative agendas for those dates. Let me tell you that I put out what I think are going to be the plans, but student progress and dictates how things go daily. So to see something way out, it may not necessarily be 100% accurate, depending on progress, depending on how it changed my mind. So right now, I have a tentative plan. And you can see here, I attach, if you click on the agenda, I attach every agenda that I put out every day. And this is an old one from last year. that I put out every day, I attach it so you can see it right on here what we did. If it's unclear based on that, based on this, again, you may have to wait. Say, Dimich, what do we have? What's going on with this? And I can explain that. And a lot of times in the course of my day, I'll end up in the course of the beginning of class when why I don't let you interrupt at the very beginning is I'll usually review that. But sometimes we need to I can clarify things during work time, but that's your first and best stop for that, as well as classroom. But again, um, right now these are the tentative agendas. These are of course subject to change, but they're going to be on here as we go along. And now that you've added this, that's it. It's always there. You can go to calendar and find it for this class.